what's up guys, it's Beeler here again, and just wanted to do this video for the premium guys. Just wanted to give you all the history of Fibonacci. Not really a big history lesson, just more of my experiences with it, my past history, and just gonna go over how I utilized this tool here, Fibonacci retracements. Just looks like a percentage symbol. But what I would do, and this is the golden ratio, and how I tell this to people is this is practically God's hands. The calculations it makes are on point every time. You could use them. You could set a Fibonacci retracement now and not check it for months and come back to it, and the price will still be utilizing those lines. That's just how awesome these lines are. And so in the beginning, before I started choosing my pre-market levels, how y'all see me do it now, before that system even came to mind, I used to use this Fibonacci retracement system, and I talk about it in my guides, but I can give you all a good little video on me doing it now. So all I would do is, and I'd always go left to right. So I'd go to the high, whatever came first, and then down to the second one, so the low. So let me edit that. It's 446.01, and the low is 89. So let's just make it exact. Bam. So I got the weekly, okay? And what I would do is I'd go down the large time frame to the small time frame. I'd go from the weekly to the daily, and I go to the 4-hour and the hourly, and then sometimes I'd go to the 30-minute and the 5-minute. I don't always use the 5-minute, but that's just like worst case scenario. If you didn't have enough information around the current price, then you would go down to that time frame. So let's go down to the daily. And some of these you don't have to do because a lot of the lines end up lining up with each other, and that's okay. You see how like this 89 is going to line up again. Now when you see it line up with multiple lines, this is identifying that this line is even stronger because multiple time frames are utilizing that. So if it's a low on multiple time frames, you know that that's an even stronger level. So if it is to ever break that all-time low, then you know you have very bearish movement. Vice versa with above on the call side. But you see, all I did was the weekly and the daily. And let's just check out the candles, just give it a good sneak preview and see how amazing these lines are hitting. And as you can see, just looking left to right, they're reacted to very well, just how we play our break systems. Yep. The low. Not a whole lot of information here yet, but we'll get to that. So I won't go down to the daily, to the 4-hour. And it's the same, so I'm not even gonna draw that line because it's the same math. It's gonna show you the same lines. A lot of these are gonna be doubled up, so we're not even gonna, and that'll happen sometimes. You don't have to do that. So you can go down to the hourly. Let me do the normal hourly. 113.89 to 18.79. Let's go back to the daily and see on that information that we didn't have before. So now you have information. You can extend this to the left. So you have information on all that stuff now. So let me undo that. And we were on the hourly. And what you're doing is you're trying to go from large to small, and you're just wanting to break it down to where you can get down to the 5-minute, and you can identify good break levels for the next day. So I don't do this anymore. I just wanted to give you all a good little system, and this is not how traditional Fibonacci is used. This is just how I personally used it. I would look for these comfort zones above and below. So price is right here, right? This would be my break below, and this could be a potential break above in the future. You know, nowadays I would say that I'd probably have a little more strict of a level there, you know, break that for calls or something like that, you know. But this is just me going over that strategy. So this would be a good, I know that if it breaks this 204.36 that it has a very big chance of going down to the next support, which would be about right here. Whoops. It'd be about right there, but it has a good chance of going down to that 194 again. And that's all I would do. Is just those lines. I'd go left to right every single time, and I'd get my highs to lows, lows to highs, and I'd look for those comfort zones. Quotations around comfort zones. But this wasn't supposed to be a huge video. We can go over another one. Let's do Tesla. Do a crazy one. Clear drawing set. Let's go to the weekly. Oh, whoops, wrong tool. The percentage symbol. 176.99. I grabbed the low. I'm going to the high. 968.99. And then down to the daily. And when I used to do this, the list that I would be posting were from the night like it'd be the night before the trading day. So these were like a good thing to look at before the next day. And then I would say in the morning you could definitely check out the pre-markets and see if the levels adjusted a crazy amount or not. But a lot of the time you'll be surprised they line up. It's pretty crazy. So these are almost the same, but I'm gonna mark it anyway. It's about 2 at 350, 968.99. Down to the 4 hour. See, it's just barely changing to 1836. That line. So then now this top line is tripled up. So now you know for sure, which that's just how lines work anyway, though. You know, if you break an all-time high, you know that it's going to run a lot more or has a good chance of coming back down for a slight retracement. But you know at the chance of break, though, it is a good run up. So we did the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right, now let's go down to the 5 minute. So now you know on the 5 minute, and I would do this a lot to where I could get a good price around it. So let's go down to the 15 minute. So now you have a bunch of extra information, and you don't have to do that many. I would always just do as many as I could to where I could get a good, you know, squeeze around the price so I could get two good levels. Like on the pre-market, you know, you're going to see me do this. You're going to see me do that and that. You know, get the pre-market in there. But now, on this strategy way back in the day, you have way more loose signals, I guess is how I should say it. But all I would look for, though, the basis of the strategy was just looking for that comfort zone. You know, if you see this right here, you know you have a good chance of going down to here. And that's all that strategy used to be. But that slowly evolved into me just not using it anymore. Just because I'm so into this pre-market strategy now. And just choosing support and resistance from me eyeballing it now. But I used to do this for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lists. You can go through my Bueller's Daily Watch List channel. And I don't even know if that's the original channel or not, but I had been doing this for like 6 to 8 months, just staring at Fibonacci just endless, and just one day, bam, popped into my head that I should stare at pre-market more, because on this strategy, I never used extended hours, so I always would think about the variables I was not using, so I turned those back on, and I was like, wow, I should really use these, and I started back testing the pre-market levels, and that's why you see me using that level strategy now, and teaching that system. But this used to be what I did beforehand. This is the system that kind of motivated me into the pre-market strategy. But yeah. We can go over one more small example, a good way of using Fibonacci retracements. So let's say you're wanting to look at Apple. Apple's a good example. Let's clear that. And I say it's a good example because it's at all-time highs. So let's get our tool. Let's just go from 185.77 to 331.75. So you now know, which I already told you this before, and you know this probably anyway, is if this is broken, you know that you have a lot of room above because you have untouched ground. You haven't even been there yet. You can always check the weekly, you know, make sure that that's the truth or not. Or even back that time frame out, make it even bigger, you know, see if that's a lie or not, you know, but that is the all-time high. Let's go back down to that. So you know that if the all-time high is broken, you have a way bullish movement. If you have a rejection here, you're going to go down and you have a good chance of retesting that 297. And that's all that told you just from that one drawing. That's what that one piece of information gave you. Because you're worried about current price. You know, you're not worried about what happened here, there. I mean, you can go look to the reactions of price around these levels. You can see you had a small gap above it here. Support, 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 big move up. Rejection, reject. There's a lot of information around these levels, and it's because it's based from the golden ratio. It's just a very, very accurate number and a very accurate calculation. And you can use it on any time frame. You don't have to use it the way I did. I noticed some people do it the opposite from the way I did, but that's just how I was stumbled upon this. What the heck happened here? But yeah, this wasn't supposed to be a long video or nothing. I just wanted to go over the history of the Fibonacci and how the list used to be made, and that's pretty much all I would go for. Was just the break above and below, and then that's what turned on into the pre-market strategy. But again, thank you guys for this video, and this is just for the premium guys, so no need to like or comment. You guys can always just hit me up in the chat, but thank you guys.